In this lesson, we'll get introduced to the control structures. And control structures, control flows, or flow statements, as they are regarded to sometimes, involves guiding your program to make certain decisions and to repeat certain actions. An example of this is given a range of number from 1 to 1000, you've been instructed to label all the even numbers with the alphabet A and all the odd numbers with the alphabet B. In short, a scenario, you have two tasks to do. The first one is to label numbers according to a given condition. Then the second one is to repeat that condition for numbers from 1 to 1000. Another more relatable example is given the population of a group of people, categorize them into the stages of human growth and development according to their age. Infant, which is usually less than 1 year old; toddlers, which is 1 to 3 years old; childhood, which is from 3 to 11 years old; adolescence, from 12 to 19; then adulthood, that's greater than 20. So for this kind of situation, especially in population study, where you have to group each individual, it's a task of knowing a particular group and identifying them according to their age, and also repeating that task for the whole population. Now to the tools of control flow. We have two tools of control flow. The first is choices. And for choices, we have the if statement. For if statement, we have a simple instruction. For example, if a number is divisible by 2, just print even. If it's not divisible by 2, don't do anything. Relating this to clinical medicine, you hear things like, if it's 5 o'clock, take your pills. That's it. So it's an if condition with a set action. During this time, do this. The other if statement that we have is the if this, else that. And for this if else statement, we have two options. And that's, for example, if a number is divisible by 2, you print even. If it's not divisible by 2, you print odd. That's quite easy. Now relating it back to health, if you took your pill in the morning, don't take in the evening. But if you did not take it in the morning, take in the evening. So that's an example of such a statement. Then also we have the if else statement, and I like to call this crowd control. And that's because you can make a lot of action to a large group of people, and that's what if else does. So for if else, if we take a look at this, we have numbers that are divisible by 2, and we see that yeah, it's not just a single number. In if and in if else here, they are just single numbers. But for this if else, which is called a vectorized if else, the number of elements that we have is more than 1. We check condition for each of the elements here if they are divisible by 2. And what we do is we set an action for each of the condition, either if they meet the condition or not. Now, if they do not meet the condition, which is else in this case, it's odd. And if they do meet the condition, which is if in this case, then it's even. So that's for the if else. Then the last choice that we do have is the switch statement. And with switch statement, we have a list of alternatives that we can take from. For example, given an object, you can say, okay, yes, we have M, W, B, G, D. Then anytime you see M, just know this is man. Anytime you see B, just know this is boy. Anytime you see D, just know this is dog. An example is also 1 to 7. And you say that they are the number of days. For example, you can say day 3 is Wednesday, day 7 is Sunday, day 1 is Monday, and we have those alternatives. So that's what switch does. The second thing is loop. And loop is how we repeat simple tasks. The task of making different choices and taking different decisions. For example, if you take this if and this if else statement and replace them in any of the loop function, they should be able to perform the same function as this if else. So for loop, we have the for. And what the for statement does is it takes a set of instruction and it ensures that that instruction is repeated on every element of an object. So let's take this as an object. It gets moved, it keeps moving, it keeps moving, it keeps moving onto the last object. Then we have the while loop. And for the while loop, given certain condition, you repeat the task. And for the while loop, as long as a condition is true, it keeps running. Once that condition is false, it stops. Well, this is just a simple introduction to the control structures. In the next lesson, we'll see how they work.